One issue that we will be discussing is Iran, and obviously that's been a topic of great interest today. So let me just make a couple of comments on that. I did not have a chance to watch Prime Minister Netanyahu's speech. I was on a video conference with our European partners with respect to Ukraine. I did have a chance to take a look at the transcript, and as far as I can tell, there was nothing new. The Prime Minister, I think, appropriately pointed out that the bond between the United States and America is unbreakable, and on that point I thoroughly agree. He also pointed out that Iran has been a dangerous regime and continues to engage in activities that are contrary to the interests of the United States, to Israel, and to the region. And on that, we agree. He also pointed out the fact that Iran has repeatedly threatened Israel and engaged in the most venomous of anti-Semitic statements, and no one can dispute that. But on the core issue, which is how do we prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon, which would make it far more dangerous and would give it scope for even greater action in the region, the Prime Minister didn't offer any viable alternatives. So the bottom line is this: we don't yet have a deal. It may be that Iran cannot say yes to a good deal. I have repeatedly said that I would rather have no deal than a bad deal. But if we're successful negotiating, then in fact this will be the best deal possible to prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon. Nothing else comes close. Sanctions won't do it. Even military action would not be as successful as the deal that we have put forward. What I'm focused on right now is solving this problem. I'm not focused on the politics of it. I'm not focused on the theater of it. And my strong suggestion would be that members of Congress, as they evaluate it, stay similarly focused.
Check out our sponsor, ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com, the leading innovator in water filtration systems. Get all of your water filters at ProPureUSA.com. Click the link below right now. Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're tuning into AMTV Alternative Media Television. It is Wednesday, March 4th, 2015. And what's really going on with these nuke talks with Iran? Because all of it's a little bit confusing. We have Obama on one side who's negotiating with Iran, a known enemy of the United States and our allies, like Israel, trying and attempting to strike a deal with the Ayatollahs, giving them a 10-year timeline that as long as they're good, you know, they play by the rules, that they can have access to nuclear technology. He's advising the American people that this is the best alternative because they're going to build a nuke anyway. And so this is how the U.S. accomplishes their goal of not destroying the world and leading the American people into World War III. On the flip side, we have Benjamin Netanyahu bypassing the President of the United States, speaking outright and addressing Congress yesterday in a speech filled with biblical references and a lot of political rhetoric, to the applause of all the Democratic and Republican lemmings. In fact, the only character in the crew that wasn't essentially sucking off Benjamin Netanyahu during a speech yesterday was Rand Paul, who was still clapping and acknowledging the speech, but it was sitting down and had a disturbed look on his face. I encourage you to take a look. It was kind of interesting. So what's really going on here? What's the real truth? Does the United States and is Israel, are they at odds? Do they just simply hate each other? Or is there something more to this? You see, if you dig a little deeper, folks, you'll understand that this is kind of theater, just like Obama said it was. And Obama and Bibi don't really like each other. It's probably why it's easy to play into this theater. But they're actually both still on the same team. It's what they call an old-fashioned jeweler's war. You know, kind of like good cop and bad cop, where one pretends to be the good guy, that's the United States, one pretends to be the bad guy, that's Benjamin Netanyahu, although they really have the same agenda. They're really on the same team. You see, the United States, Israel, and the West are positioning for war. They're positioning for a very serious war with Iran. And the United States needs to claim plausible deniability when, not if, but when Israel appears to unilaterally strike Iran. For God knows what reason. I mean, they'll just create it out of thin air. It'll be like WMDs under George W. Bush. Total bullshit, total lie, total scam. Maybe they'll blow up a city in the Middle East. Maybe ISIS will pose a greater threat. They'll create some kind of reason and some kind of boogeyman. And it will lead and justify a unilateral strike courtesy of Israel. And you see, the United States can claim through these theatrics and this theater that they didn't support the airstrikes. Note that Obama actually said recently, leading up to the speech with Bibi addressing Congress, that he had threatened to shoot Israeli jets out of the sky if Israel was to take unilateral action against Iran. You see, they're setting the stage here. So when Israel attacks Iran, for God knows what reason, they create out of thin air to serve their interests, the US of A can claim plausible deniability. And they can have their cake and eat it too, because again, we're on the same team. It positions the United States as the good guy in the eyes of the world, not the tyrant, not the warmonger. It positions Israel acting in self-defense against the wishes of the United States of America. And it plays perfectly into the chess moves leading to war. For those of you with a biblical reference, you'll also note that this plays directly into biblical prophecy. And I'm not even giving you the biblical perspective. It's only what is actually objectively happening right now. You know, when was it that a leader outside of Israel could come in and fly into Washington, D.C. and have Republican and Democratic lemmings on their feet addressing our political system and our House of Congress in the United States? What other country do we allow to do that? You know, this theater, all these biblical references, theatrics, really not providing, I think Obama's kind of right here, really not providing a real solution. Just juxtaposing this war of good versus evil. And of course, the U.S. is always good. Everybody else, Israel's always good. Everybody else is evil. ISIS, evil. Osama bin Laden, evil. Chris Kyle, a hero. That's how we position things here in the United States of America. We create our enemy. We manufacture the boogeyman, whether or not it's all Al-Qaeda or it's ISIS or ISIL, and then we demonize the enemy. We demonize that opposes the West and our interests here in the United States and abroad. So you see, all of this is just a smoke and mirrors campaign. It's a jeweler's war. It's theater, just like Obama says and has indicated that it is. You see, we're going to war with Iran, whether or not you like it or not. It's one of the reasons why we've had sanctions on Iran. We've been pressuring their economy. It's why we launched rogue internet viruses like Stuxnet to destroy their nuclear capabilities. Obama and Bibi, although they actually in real life do hate each other, are playing for the same team. They're serving up the same agenda and the same program. And it's all leading to war. I'm Christopher Green. Get this video out everywhere. Make it viral. Hard hitting it in your face. And click the link below to support our sponsor.